Jesus to move you from this level to that level, from one dimension to another dimension. When you get up in the morning, the enemy should have a headache. He should start sweating, thinking, oh my God, they're up.
Praise God, the devil's a lie. I can just tell you, don't be afraid of the devil. He is defeated.
Amen, Lord. Hallelujah.
Totally defeated. I deal with strong men all the time. I'm skilled in dealing with serpents. I don't like snakes per se, but spiritually, I've dealt with them. I'm here today because I've dealt with strong men. And trust me, because we're in tune with God, greater is He that's in us than He that's in the world. So you don't have to be afraid. We're strong people. We're stronger than we even know. And can I just say this to you? You know, a thief doesn't break into a place where there's nothing of value. The reason why this church is in such a fight and the enemy is fighting for this church, it's not about you. It's not about you, pastor or minister or anyone else in this place. It's really about what's at stake. And you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes we take it personal, we get a little carnal about things. But the reality is that the enemy is after the church. He's after souls of men. He's not interested in your beef with that person and whatever your disagreements. He's really after the kingdom of God in whichever way he can. And his objective, if he can shut this place down, he can have a laugh. He can turn it into something else. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we miss it. We think it's about us. But he goes after the Bible, so we have this treasure in earthen vessels. There's a treasure here that maybe sometimes we don't even recognize the treasure. But the enemy does. Wow. He recognizes the church of God unified. If you ever be, you could do so much together as a body. But he doesn't want that. You don't even know that. And so you find yourself going through stuff that is carnal. And to be carnal minded is death. You got to break that spirit of carnality. It's a spiritual warfare, you know. A church that prays together stays together. Amen. You've got to get together in prayer and fast. Jesus, having come down the Mount of Transfiguration, like I was sharing last night from Mark 2 to Matthew 17, he came into a scenario where a young man was falling in the fire all the time. He was always falling in fire and water. Fire speaks of trials, water speaks of life. He had an epilepsy, he had fits, people call it fits, or moonstruck. And his disciples couldn't handle it, they couldn't deal with it. And sometimes what we see manifested in the church, we're struggling with some things where people are falling in life, they're failing in life, they're going through trials, they're going through hard times, and we can't deal with it. Jesus comes on the scene and casts the demon out. And they wondered, why couldn't we do it? He says, you know, some of these things only go by prayer and fasting. You've got to have seasons of prayer and fasting as a people if you don't already, and use it as a weapon. And these Bibles, by the way, that they gave out last night are actually geared and structured to teach young people how to pray and fast. And so you've got to start from the youth, from grassroots level, and really get into prayer and fasting that we can take down the strong men. Amen. In our church, we really pray and fast. Set up in motion and really attack the enemy. When the enemy comes up, even if it's just one person, we go get it. Amen. One can chase 1,000, but two can put 10,000 to flight. There's a treasure here. And most times treasure is buried. Come on now. If you want to find diamonds in the minefields, you have to mine for them, meaning you have to go deep into some dirt. And sometimes we are fighting over the dirt, and the dirt has no value. It's what's beneath the dirt. Come on now. Amen. We're not fighting against flesh and blood. We're dealing with principalities over this region. Over this region. There's this principality over this region, Finch Avenue. You've got to deal with that strong man. It's not necessarily inside the church. There's a strong man that is determined to shut down churches. You may not be the only church. If you speak to other pastors and other ministers, other churches in this region are going through similar things. It's a spiritual thing. Do your homework, guys. Amen. Can we go to the word tonight? I got a word for you. I want to share it. I'm mindful of time. I'm limited in time, so I'll be quick and sharp. Amen. Go for it. Amen. Amen. Praise God. Look with me to the book of Psalms 92. Praise God. God is in the house, man. You don't want the enemy to bring anything down, try to put stuff in your mind that wasn't there in the beginning. But we want to focus on God. Amen? Amen. We don't live by suspicion or superstition. Amen. Most important thing is that when we focus on God, God is bigger than the boogeyman. Bigger than the Obi man, bigger than the Juju man, bigger than any other man. Praise God. If we magnify him, everything gets minimized. Hallelujah. The devil loves when we pay attention to him. Some people are specialists in giving the devil credit where he doesn't deserve it. Psalms 92 verse 10 says, "But my horn shall thou exalt like the horn of a unicorn. I shall be anointed with fresh oil." Psalms 92:10. Amen? Look at neighbor and say, I shall be anointed with fresh oil. Hallelujah. Praise God. There's a law of thermodynamics, and it states this, that everything tends towards disorder. Everything in life tends to gravitate towards disorder. What does this mean? If left to itself, an isolated system tends towards a state of maximum disorder. I'm going to give you some examples. Because every time you look around, even in your house, I don't know if you've noticed that if you vacuum, as you guys say, okay, we say hoovered. When you vacuum your house one time, how many of you know that it's going to get dirty again? Come on now. Everything gravitates towards disorder. It's natural. If you cut your grass today, then in a couple of days' time, it's going to start growing again. It's natural for things to move towards disorder. It needs to be maintained. Amen. We need to maintain our cars. If you leave your car for long, things that it's going to go into disorder. The value, the moment you take it out of the auto shop and drive it out, is lower in what you bought it for. The value depreciates, doesn't appreciate. We got to understand God's accountancy. We got to understand how God deals with us and how the earth is. The earth, the Bible says, is going to wear away like an old piece of cloth. We got to recognize that we ourselves are getting older. Believe it or not. That's why we buy makeup. So we pamper ourselves because we want to maintain ourselves, because our natural we regress as people, because what happens is that we have a desire to be better. We have a desire naturally to want to improve our lives. And God wants us to improve in every area of our lives. Do you believe that? Yes. How many of you know that? God wants us to improve. As wonderful as these guys were, because of what's in them, the God in them, they want to improve at all times. You have to assess and look at things. I'm very analytical, so I'm my number one critic. And you understand what I'm saying? I don't need you to criticize. I can criticize myself pretty well. Praise God. That's just a word for whoever needs to hear that. So, left to their own, isolated from outside influence, things tend to get worse, not better. Hebrews 1:10-11 says this, "And thou, Lord, in the beginning hast laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the works of thine hands." Verse 11 says, "They shall perish, but thou remainest." Even though God has created something, they will perish. Everything he has created will perish. But he himself remains. Are you thankful that God can't perish? Yes. I serve a God that cannot perish. Come on now. People in Isaiah 40, the Bible says Isaiah speaks, and he speaks about people making gods out of wood and out of stone. Those things can't do anything for you. What everything that God created, everything that God has created in the earth and in the heavens, even stars fall out of the sky. So everything will begin to go into a state of regression, but God remains the same. I'm thankful that my God changes not. Hallelujah. And they shall wax. Hear what the Bible says, verse 11. They shall perish, that which he has created, but he, God, remains the same, and they which he has created shall wax old as doth the garment. As beautiful as your outfit is today, a time's going to come when it's going to go old. You're not going to want to put it on anymore because it doesn't fit you. Either it doesn't fit you or it doesn't look right for the season. And you understand what I'm saying? You've got to understand that God is a God of seasons. There's a certain time where God is going to have you be the person, the main person, and another time when you have to step back and let someone else go. Come on, you got to know your season. That we're only here for a season. I don't know how much time I got left. But I've got to make the most. I've got to maximize the momentum. I've got to maximize the moment I'm in, because this is the season that God called me to do what I'm doing. And a season is going to come where I'm going to have to step back and let someone else move on. And you understand what I'm saying? What happens in church sometimes, we're trying to hold on to a season you ever wear a fur coat in the summer? Come on now. You prepare your house differently in the summer from the winter. You don't have the fans on in winter. Someone will be looking at the caretaker thinking, what's wrong with you, fool? Come on now. Come on, you know what I'm saying? You got to understand that God is a God of seasons. You know, certain garments, people now want to wear less clothes because it's hot. But by September, late September, October, people thinking, hey, I've got to find something to put on because I'm feeling a bit cold. Amen. And so we got to understand that God is a God of order. Amen. And this is why evolution cannot be true. The theory of evolution says that things have progressively gotten better, smarter, more advanced, without any outside influence. That's nonsense. Things tend to get worse when left on their own, not better. Everything in your life, first point I want to talk about, everything in your lives left untended will eventually fall apart and disintegrate. If you leave something unattended for long, it's going to fall apart. Amen. Come on. I'm after something tonight. I'm mindful I've got less time, so I've got to preach real quick. You may not get my accent, but get the tape. Your body will fall apart if you don't take care of it. Now, this is the time not to look at your neighbor. Normally I'll get you to say, touch your neighbor and say this, but don't. We don't want to fight. Unnecessary fight. We pick our battles. Amen. Tonight we're going to pick our battles. If you leave your body alone for long enough, if you don't wash it, something's going to happen. Tooth decay, for example, occurs when your teeth are frequently exposed to foods containing carbohydrates, which are starches and sugars, like soda, like candy, as you say, we call it sweets, ice cream, milk, cakes, even fruits, vegetables and juices. Natural bacteria can live in your mouth and forms plaque. The plaque interacts with deposits left on your teeth from sugary and starchy foods, and it produces acids. You see how sometimes the things that taste good, the things that looks nice, the things that we enjoy, taste good, is not necessarily the best thing for you because it's working against you. Oh my God. I could just preach another alone. I'm telling you, sometimes the things that we unknowingly put stuff in our bodies that if we read the ingredients, and I'm thinking, sometimes I'm thinking, how can the government give people the license to poison us? And from a young age, kids are fascinated. You ever go to the store and just as you get to the checkout, they have at kids' eye level. What do they have at the kids' eye level? Candies. Once they see it, they want it. And so from a young age, they're conditioned in their subconscious to put stuff in their mouths, in their bodies that will kill them. And you understand what I'm saying? And what happens is that if we leave our kids to themselves, some of them don't even brush their teeth at night. How many of you remember those days? Some of you don't have your own teeth, but you don't. Let's just move on from that one. But I'm telling you, anything left unattended is going to fall apart. And why this is important, I was doing a study one time, I went to my dentist, he said, you know what, if you allow plaque to form on your teeth or your gums, it will affect your heart.
Yes.
Amen. Yes. How many of you knew that?
Yes.
Oh. And the Bible tells us that from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. There is a connection between your mouth and your heart. And sometimes you wonder why people talk so bad. It's a reflection of the heart. Jeremiah says the heart of man is desperately wicked. Who can know? You'd be amazed how wicked you are if it wasn't for the grace of God. That's why you shouldn't be quick to criticize the man next to you when he done something terrible. Because if it wasn't for the grace of God, Paul says, there go I. We're capable as human beings to do some horrible things. You'd be amazed at what your thoughts are. Some of you could be in this room and your thoughts, if we could see the thought bubble, we would run away from you. Oh my God, can you imagine what you're thinking? That's why the Bible tells us we should cast down our imaginations that exalt itself against the knowledge of God. Because all the time, if you ever knew how much thoughts are coming against you every single day, the things that came in your thoughts today, if it wasn't for the God in you, you would have followed after it and done something that you didn't want to be here tonight. Can we be real? Your home, if you don't check for termites on a regular basis, you might find your house falling down around your ears. Buildings are built on top of the ground, of course, and termites exploit the small cracks in building foundations. The devil's always looking for a little crack in you. I'm not talking about the stuff you smoke now every now and again, but I'm talking about the enemy always looks for a way in. Little bugs will find a way in your ants, find a way in your house. Roaches find a way in your house. Mouses find a way in your house. One time I had some mice running around my house, and I just got radical and thinking, listen, you know, I've got girls, and they don't like mice. My daughter came knocking on my door 1 o'clock in the morning. She went downstairs in the kitchen, and she saw a mouse, and she's like, so I'm like, so what do you want me to do about it? It's 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm tired. I'm like, hey, get out of my face. But I don't like mice either. And I've got a big old stick that I got from a tree in the backyard. And I went down to the kitchen and I saw this mouse. And I closed the door. And I said, number one, you don't pay and contribute to the mortgage of this house. And I'm going to preach to you, mice. And I had my stick. And I sent him to mouse heaven. And you understand what I'm saying? But he had found the crack. Somehow he got in. And sometimes if you understand, if you don't check, every now and again, you never notice the cracks in the wall in your house. That there's enemies always trying to get in, flies always trying to get in if you don't have a mesh on the door or on the windows. And so what happens is the enemy has a way of bringing about something into you that doesn't belong to you. And you've got to be checking it every now and again. Every now and again, you see, I used to be a building manager. We used to manage a home, a care home. And one of the first things we would do when we go to the work site is to do a building check. We walk around the building, we have a list. We have an architectural design, a plan of every floor. And every time you sign on to shift, you have to check that everything was as you left it. You check for everything. The guttering is it fine. And the windows, is the windows broken. When you work with young people that's dysfunctional, they do stuff. When someone doesn't own it, they abuse it. Come on, a lot of people graffiti buses, they don't own it, they don't care, they don't graffiti it. Don't graffiti your own house. They ain't gonna do that. They'll urinate in the lift, they'll urinate on the side, they won't do it in their own house. And people tend to do that because they have no sense of ownership, they abuse it. People do that even in church. They don't think it's there, so they can leave their bottles of water on the floor, they can leave tissue that's blow their nose and drop it on the floor, they can eat sweets, drop it on the floor, they don't care. Don't mind someone else's job. Let a deacon clear it up. We don't have a sense of ownership. And we need to be able to do a checkup from the neck up. We got to check the stuff that belongs to us because God gave it to us. We got to check for it. I'm going somewhere with this. We got to see that there's a responsibility that we must take care of things that God entrusted with us. Just as God gave the Eden to Adam, he had to be responsible for it. He gave the woman to him, and now when the woman responds to the serpent, what does he say? That woman you gave to me.
She made me eat it.
Another thing that if you don't take care of it, it's going to seize up on you is your car. Now some people take better care of their car than let's just leave that one alone. But if your car doesn't have an oil change, the engine will, what happen? It will seize up. If you don't take it for a wash once in a while, the salt will eventually eat through the protective seal coat on the vehicle, and it will begin to corrode the metal. And one day while you're driving down the road with the quarter panels flapping in the breeze, you find yourself taking off. Every now and again you need to take your car to the car wash. Come on. Finally, you need to take care of your yard. Now you got to be responsible. You don't want your neighbor thinking Tarzan lives over there. Because your house is looking like a jungle. It's not being cut for a while. Come on now. You got to take care of your yard. I think it's responsible. And we got to be responsible even for the things that we may think is irrelevant to spirituality, but hear what the Proverbs writer said. He went down to the home of the lazy man, and he saw that his house was unkept. There are too many lazy bones in church. And your house is a reflection. I said to my kids, you better make sure that this house is clean, because anyone could drop by. They'll step into my house and see that I've got things lined up. No. I'm a tidy freak. I like things nice and proper. I want my knives in one place. I want my forks in one. I want my spoons in another place. Come on now. Is it just me? Please pray for me, because you're so holy and so wonderful. Please. Come on now. There's another thing that you need to take care of is your marriage. Woo! One of the problems in many marriages is this, that the things you did not get your mate, you won't do to keep them. Let me just rewind that. One of the problems in many marriages is this, the things you did to get your mate. I'm preaching to myself. We don't do it anymore to keep them. Oh, I'm gonna go back home and take my wife out. You remember, how many of you remember when we used to date? Nobody used to date? Come on now. Nadine, help me, please, Jesus. Rowan's in the back. Lord, things we used to do. Speak sweet nothingness in their ears. Send them a text, oh, honey, how you doing, how you doing? No, we don't even get a phone call. Glory. And we, this is so important, people. Sometimes, we miss spirituality. You can't be effective in ministry if you don't take care of the basic things. Marriage is important. I can't fight with my wife and go preach. Peter tells me this, listen, man, your prayers will be hindered, dude. I've got to be careful. I've got to be mindful. I've got to treat my kids right. You follow what I'm saying? I can't be harsh with my kids and they come to church and act as if I'm all good. They don't even want to come. You know what I'm saying? We've got to take care of the basics things, take care of these things. And the final thing that I wanted to hit home with is this. As good as all those things are, your body, your house, your health, your marriage, your car, the most important thing that we need to take care of is our spiritual man. That's where I am. That's where I'm going. Let me just walk you through this, because we're going to get with this and run with this. So you hear me? The most important thing we must guard against deterioration is our walk with God. As we close out this weekend of meetings, my challenge to you is, how is your walk with God? You may have neglected it. You may be good on your car. Your teeth may be fine and they're white and shiny. Sometimes we're really good at taking care of outward appearance. We're good at, physically, we go to the gym, we get healthy, our cars are clean. It's been looked after really well. Our homes are fine. We're manicured, we're pedicured, we have our hair nice, and everything is good, and we're looking good on the outside. But spiritually, there is some neglect. And the writer of Hebrews says, how can we neglect so great salvation? We cannot afford to neglect what is most important. Are you hearing what I'm saying? We think things sometimes will get better on their own. But I'm telling you, if we don't practice some spiritual maintenance, it won't be long before decay, before deterioration, before disintegration takes over and our spirits, man, will be destroyed. It's been a while since we have allowed the outside influence of the Holy Spirit to work in our lives, and things in our hearts are tending towards maximum disorder. And sometimes we see that in the church, the apathy, the lethargy when it comes to the things of God. Like the man of God said, I've heard me say this throughout my time here with you. We would never be late for work the way we'd be late for church. Come on. I'm not just talking about these meetings, I'm just talking about generally Sunday morning. A time when we give over to God, a devotion, a time when we say, this is God's time. And if we were caring for our spiritual man the way we should be, we would be finding ourselves in a better order. We'd be in order. God is not the author of confusion, but the God of peace. Come on. I feel strongly about this, and I'm preaching it because I live it. Some of us are trying to survive on stale bread. We don't read our Bibles anymore. Come on. When was the last time you picked your Bible reading because you had a good read? Good study to show yourself approved unto God. Workman needeth not be ashamed, But rightly dividing the word of truth. When was the last time you just picked your Bible and had a Bible dictionary or a concordance and said, I'm just going to get deep into this stuff? We have Bible studies in our church, and sometimes we have 20 people out of a church of 250 people. It's pathetic. Never excuses. So what do you do on a Tuesday night? Our Bible studies are awesome. People come and bless. Sometimes there's 20, 30 people. But for the size of the church, you can't find people coming out. Our prayer meetings are full. Because everyone's got a shopping list of what they want God to do for them. So because they don't like the Bible studies on a Tuesday night, I preach them on Friday night like it was a Bible study. They won't come, I'm going to bring it to them. You've got to find a strategy to get people connected to God. And you understand what I'm saying? If you go to someone's house and you have a phone or you have an iPad, you want to say, what's your Wi-Fi? I need to get connected. Right? Amen. One of the things I came to thinking, first of all, I want to know, what's the Wi-Fi? I need to hook up. That's how we should be with God when we get into God's presence. Oh, what's the Wi-Fi? I need to get connected to God. That's how the believer should be. Everywhere you go, thinking, how can I get connected? I can be on the bus and I'm going to get connected. I'm going in my car and I'm connected. I can be listening to the local radio stations. I got to get, what's the local gospel station here? I got to have some God in me. I got to have some seed. I got to have something that's positive in my soul. I got to care for my spiritual man. Because you can only give out what you've got. Anyone ever been to the ATM and you put your card in and you didn't have any money in it? That's what we do with God. We keep trying to take from Him, we never deposited nothing. We haven't prayed. We haven't fasted. We haven't praised Him. And we always take it like a leech, sucking, pulling on something that we haven't deposited in. One time I remember when I was a young person, I went to the ATM and I put my card in and the machine said to me, see manager. Sometimes it will swallow your card. What if God starts to say, listen man, see me? Are you hearing me tonight? We're trying to survive on stale bread. Stuff that we read years ago. Some of us are trying to find direction from stale vision. We have no vision for our lives. I remember one day my wife said to me, what's your vision? I'm not talking about church. I know you do church really well, but what's your vision? Where are we going? Are we going to live in this house forever? Our kids are grown. What's your vision? Man, I felt pain all over my body. You need someone to challenge and say, what's your vision? Where are we going? You know the movie, Are We There Yet? Sometimes people are following you and think, are we there yet? Because I don't think you know where you're going. But we've been in this vehicle a long time. Without vision, people perish. You got to have a fresh vision. You got to be connected to God. Because if you are a leader, if you're a man, particularly as men, we need to be able to say to our wives because they won't submit. So the word submit means under vision. If you got no vision, you got division. Death of vision. And divorce, one of the reasons what divorce really means, it means broken fellowship. You're no longer in fellowship. So you can have two people in the house and they're no longer in fellowship. You can have a whole group of people in the house and they're no longer in fellowship. Because the fellows have left the ship, so there's no more fellowship. You understand what I'm saying? We need to understand. These may sound very basic to you, but sometimes you want the anointing. The anointing is really simple to submit to God. Resist the devil and she'll flee. And the things is basic. I'm not into shouting, screaming. When I was coming from ministry, that's the way you ought to preach. And God says, no. Preaching excites, teaching establishes. Some of us are trying to stay saved on a stale experience that we keep referring to. I remember how it used to be. It's so old. It's time to move on, man. When was the last time you had a visitation from God? When was the last time God touched you that you were laid out on the floor? When was the last time God touched you that you cried and you wept and you surrendered and said, God, I surrender all. All to Jesus, I surrender. All to Him, I'm free to give. I will ever love and trust Him in His presence daily. I surrender all. It's the last time God really touched you. I mean, I'm talking about you felt the Holy Ghost. I'm not talking about you came in on Sunday morning and you rolled on the coattails of the worship team. No, I'm talking about when was the last time you really had an encounter with God? These worshipers, they have their own connection. They can bring it to the house. But when was the last time you brought your worship to the house? We have many times in church now, we're spectators. We're saying to the guys on stage, please entertain me. Lord help me. Some of us are trying to shout with stale joy. Something of, we're faking it to make it. We have a church full of fake people. It's time for us to wise up. It's time to put down the sword, push away the plates, lock ourselves up with the Lord and find some fresh water. Philippians 2:12 says, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation. With what? Fear and trembling. Listen, man, you're going to work out your own. Every one of us will stand before Jesus alone. All your buddies, all your haters, all your do-gooders, all your friends. You're going to stand before him alone. He's going to ask you, what have you done with the hope that I've given you? What have you done with Jesus? Every person will stand before him to give an account for how we lived our lives. What's your account like? What's the status of your bank account with God? Have you reconciled? What reconcile is an accountant term. Have you reckoned yourselves dead to sin and alive to God? Romans says that when we were in sin, we were free from righteousness. Now we're in righteousness, we should be free from sin. Reckon means take into account your status. Look at your books. Look at your account. I'm always checking my account because we have online banking. I'm always checking to making sure that I'm not overdrawn. Make sure that I keep my life in order. I've got to keep a check on things. I've got to be on top of my finances. And God says, keep on top of your spiritual man. And you hear what I'm saying? Sometimes we can be doing ministry, we're so good at it, but we have no time for God. We're just winging it. Many a time you're doing it on stale experiences. And I need to take time to fast. I need to take time to pray. I need to get away. The season's coming. Even in my church, that I can go 2 months, 3 months sometimes without preaching on Sunday. So I need to draw away from the crowd, from the noise of everybody else, and hear God, get some instruction. And then when I come back, I may preach for 6 months straight and pull back. So I must get alone with God. And you understand what I'm saying? We got to be able to get alone with Him and just thinking, God, it wasn't man that called me, it's you that called me. I live my life for an audience of one. Salvation is a journey. I must work on staying saved. I need to stay in the right mind. I need to make sure that I don't have lust of the eyes and lust of the flesh and the pride of life. It will creep upon me. I'm going to make sure I don't become prideful. But God resists the proud, but He gives grace to the humble. And you understand what I'm saying? I'm going to make a daily decision to die daily. It's no longer I, Ian, that lives, but Christ lives in me. And you understand what I'm saying? Paul in Corinthians 1 Corinthians 9:27, hear what he says, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to you tonight, I myself should be a castaway, considered a reprobate, or meaning I'm Christless. The time will come when people stand before the Lord and say, Lord, what didn't I sing? Didn't I preach? Didn't I cast devils out? He will say, I don't know you. So I must die daily. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 15:31, I don't want to ever wake up and say, I don't need to pray today. I don't need to repent today. I finally arrived, I can rest now. No. There's not a day that goes by that I don't need to be in the presence of Jesus. There's not a day that goes by that I don't need to feel the power of the only one that can forgive my sin, restore my soul, renew my mind, and cleanse my heart. I'm ever mindful of Him. Every single day, God, I need you. Just like you can't go a day without having a shower, brushing your teeth, you shouldn't be able to go without a day without Jesus. I'm not talking just church talk, I'm talking real to people. We've got to know that He's real. It's not just a song, but it's an experience. Left to my own, isolated, untouched by the Master's hand, I'm tending toward maximum disorder. But every day I want to be anointed, as the text in the beginning said, with fresh oil. I need fresh anointing. I need a fresh Holy Ghost. I need a fresh vision. I need fresh strength. Hallelujah. The psalmist states a very powerful truth in our passage this night, and he's saying that is the need. It is the need for freshness. David speaks often in Psalms of the need for today's oil for today, not yesterday's oil for today. Psalm 61:8 says, "And so will I sing praise unto thy name forever, that I may daily do what? Perform my vows." It's a daily thing. Fortunately, the church lives from week to week. Psalm 68:9 says, "Blessed be the Lord, who daily loadeth us with benefits, even the God of our salvation." Psalm 72:15 says, "And he shall live, and to him shall be given the gold of Sheba. Prayer also shall be made for him continually, and daily shall he be praised." How often should God be praised? Daily. Glory to God. And every day you've got to find a moment, find a spot. That's what Eden meant. The God of Eden meant the spot, the presence. Man, I've got to find a location. I've got to find a spot just to give him praise. Sometimes we're going to go on a lunch break, just go to the bathroom, or go to the park, or go someplace. God, let me just give you praise for a few moments. Glory to God. Are you with me tonight? We're almost done. Amen. Psalms 86:3, David cries out, "Be merciful unto me, O Lord, for I cry unto thee daily." Hallelujah. Daily. Look at that, it said daily. Amen. Hallelujah. The manna in the Old Testament, in the time of Israel, was supposed to be gathered daily. Enough only for that day. Only on the eve of the Sabbath were they to gather enough for the next day. The Bible said if they tried to keep today's manna until tomorrow, it rotted, it stank, and worms came out of it. If you try to live on stuff longer than the day, you start to stink. It starts to rot. Worms start to eat it. God said, don't live on old stuff. Stop living in your old experience. Stop talking about that. Get something new. Get a new testimony. Sometimes you have testimony service, the person's coming and tell me about something that happened 20 years ago. Come on, stop that. If you want a testimony, God will give you a test. Sometimes we're afraid of the test, so we don't want no money. Because every time you get a test, guess what happens? You get some money. I'm not talking about dollars, I'm talking about currency to move. Faith is a currency. Faith makes you stronger. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11:6 says, without faith it's impossible to please God. He that cometh unto God must first believe that he is, and that he is the rewarder of them that diligently seek him. God is a rewarder, man. I love them that love me. He says, and they that seek me continually shall find me. Hallelujah. Come on. God wants to give us power. He wants to, when you have a test and you get through it, God gives you power. So you get up and you begin to testify. I've seen people testify in church and the service is locked down. I couldn't even preach after that. When you've been through tests, you don't know, you think it's just for you. Your testimony is for everybody to hear. That's why when the people come together and they hear your testimony, they're thinking, oh my God, it gives me hope. I love listening to people's testimonies. On a Friday night in our service, I call it the teen service, because what happens is we have Thanksgiving, we have testimony, we have teaching, and then we have travailing. So when I hear sometimes the testimonies of people, I can't even preach because I'm like, wow. I heard some crazy testimonies in our church because of what God had. And people, when they were going through it, they were always at the altar, they crying out to God, and they travailed. They prayed, and now God brought them through. When they testify, other people are getting their breakthrough. People testify being healed, and as they share the testimony, God starts healing people all over the middle. You understand what I'm saying? Don't despise what you're going through. Come on, I've seen people throw sticks away. and walk out of church. We had people, we had a church in Israel one time. This lady came with us, and she had a walking sickness. She had to actually be wheeled in a wheelchair to the plane. By the time she came back from Israel, she was no longer using a stick. And our Israel trip is a pilgrimage. You're going to be walking everywhere. This woman was walking up hills, down hills, without a stick. How was that? We've had people in our church healed from diabetes. At least one of my elders in our church, in our conference 2009, our theme was giving birth. And the 1st of May, starting the 1st of May, he determined he was diabetic. My wife had to rush into the hospital. He almost died. When the doctors saw him, they thinking, listen, man, if you had come here an hour later, you'd be dead. Every organ of yours would shut down. He was meant to be on insulin for the rest of his life. He came to the conference. He said, this is the last day of taking insulin. The 1st of May, 2009. He came to the conference with an expectation. God, this is the last day I'm going to take insulin. I'm believing you for my healing in this conference. Since the 1st of May 2009, he's never taken any insulin. God has healed him completely. And you understand what I'm saying? Physicians, consultants checked him over and over. They couldn't believe it. They kept calling others to come in and check this guy for free. He's been on television. He's been on radio. Giving his testimony, giving hope to other people. Now, people in our church getting healed of diabetes because of it. And you understand what I'm saying? People being healed from blood cancer. Different disorders. We've had people who have been deported from England, brought back to their country of origin, taken by 10 immigration officers. And when they landed in their country of origin, the immigration said, we have no record of this person, you have to take them back. We got together the night when they took her and we prayed. That's the most greatest night in our church history. We felt God turn that plane around. The Sunday she walked into our church exploded. They had to bring her back. Now she's a citizen of Britain. They've given her own house. I'm talking to you about the goodness of God in the land of the living. You gotta understand, that's the kind of place you want to be in, because when God is moving, you gotta understand, God's giving you something new. When we share a test with other people, now people are coming up and immigration is not a problem. So people come to our church, you got immigration problem, this is the right church for you. Is that all your problems? Come on, tell us some more. People sometimes try to shock us with their problems. See, we serve a big God. Oh, glory. You understand what I'm saying? What's your issue? Bring it. Yes. Lay it at the altar. Yes. We'll walk all over that. Step on it. In the name of Jesus. See, we're going to give some people a 24-hour miracle. See, God, do it over and over and over and over and over again. She made a connection with God. I can't live on yesterday's week. So each week, I don't want to be talking about this story and that story, because we see God do it every week. We expect it. It's God. It's not us, it's God. We just believe. What Jesus said to the young man, said, thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believes. Hallelujah. God is so good. There's so much of this message. Let us break it down. Lord, help me. Thank you, Jesus. In Luke 2, I'm wrapping this. 41 to 47, I'm going to read the verses. You can look at it later on. The Bible talks about every year Jesus' parents went to Jerusalem, the feast of the Passover. At this point, when he was 12 years old, they supposed that he was in their company as they returned home. And they couldn't find him. They sought for him among their kinfolk and acquaintances, but they found him not. They turned back to Jerusalem. And where they found him was in the temple. And we know what his response was. Well, what's the problem? I was about my father's business. But they lost him in Jerusalem, which is significant because Jerusalem is the city of God. We can say the type of the church. It is possible for us, listen to me, church, to stay in the church and lose the presence of God. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It is possible for us to stay in church and lose the presence of God. When did they lose it? They lost him at the custom of the feast. They lost Jesus while they were fulfilling their customs, their traditions. They lost Jesus while they were still going through the rituals. It is possible to fulfill our customs, our standards, our rules, our regulations, to tick all the boxes of church life and lose Jesus. Why did they lose him? They supposed he was with them. They didn't bother to check. They just assumed. Just like Samson when he rose up and he knew not that the presence of God had departed from him. It's a sad day that we can come to church week after week and not realize that God left us. We can have church week after week. Church is full some places every week, but Jesus ain't there. I said to my church, the day Jesus leaves this church, I will leave too. You can keep on having church, but I'm not going to be there. How can we sit in the church and lose the Holy Ghost? How can we sit in the presence of Jesus himself and lose him? When we fail to renew our acquaintance with Jesus daily, we just assume that we're okay, that he's still with us. But where did they find Jesus? They found him in the company of friends and acquaintances. They didn't find him through the experiences of fellow saints. They found him in the temple. My conclusion, my final point now, hand the mic over. Have you lost Jesus through neglect? Have you lost him through lack of maintenance and lack of relationship? Have you just assumed that everything's okay and he's still with you? If this is you, and it's time for you to come to this altar, meet me here for fresh water. Because I need fresh water. I need to have my oil changed regularly. I need to not assume. And so many times we don't check, we don't maintain, we don't focus, we don't do the right things. We don't, we have it, or we think we have it all together, but we've lost Jesus along the way. And we're just going on in our journey of faith, and Jesus is not with us. And just like Eli the priest, Ichabod is birthed in the midst of us. The glory has departed. It's a sad day when we're in church and the glory is no longer there. Who wants to be in a church where there's no glory? Who wants to be a part of a church where there's no Jesus? The church is never the church if Jesus is not there. It's just a community center, a social club. Can you stand with me? Where is Jesus in your walk? Where is Jesus in your talk? Where is Jesus in your life today? Do you know him? Do you have a relationship with him? If you sense in your life that there is a dearth, there's a famine in your life, you're just going on every single day, but you don't have Jesus in your life, there's no relationship, I want to invite you to come this last night of this crusade. Come and stand with us. Let us pray with you. It's no shame. Don't stand there thinking, I assume everything's okay. I go to church. I may sing in the choir. I do this and I do that, but you know where is Jesus? I'm not going to plead or beg with you tonight. It's the last night. If you really want to have a proper relationship with Jesus, then I'm going to invite you to come and stand. I'm not even going to come and touch anyone. We're just going to pray for God just to bless you with his presence. That you make a connection, that you will plug in voluntarily. You plug in voluntarily. You'll do it. God, I'm too old to play church. Been on the earth too long to play church. So just do what you need to do real quick because we're well over time. And so if you really want to have a serious personal relationship with Jesus. I'm talking not faking it to make it, but saying, God, I need to maintain, and I haven't been maintaining my relationship with you. I need some fresh oil. My oil hasn't changed for a while. All that's coming out of me is black smoke. And I'm fidgeting, I'm ifing, I'm arming, I'm not functioning to my best potential. I'm not fulfilling my vows. My purpose seems blurred in my eyes. I seem to lack vision here or there. Then God, here I am before you. Forgive me, Lord. Help me to return to you so that I may serve you with my whole land, with my whole heart, with my whole heart. In Jesus' name. Thank you, Jesus. I don't know what's coming. It's good. It's good. We'll just bow our heads if we can. I'm going to pray. I'm going to hand the mic back as we just pray. Tonight I'm determined not to fight with anyone. I'm not going to cajole you. I'm not going to wear you out. I know you're tired. Very long day. But this is your response to the word. That's fine. It's not your response to me, so I don't take it personal. It's your response to God. That's important. So Father, we pray tonight that you would visit your people. Let them see that you're ever loving, ever kind, ever faithful, ever true. Draw them near. He said if we draw near to you, you will draw near to us. You know our hearts. You know our thoughts. You see the place where we're at. You see our location. You know our number. You know everything there is to know about us. Lord, he said, where can we go? As David writes, if I took the wings of the morning, went to the uttermost parts of the sea, thou art there. If I made my bed in hell, you are there. Lord, search me. Know me. Try me and see if there be in me in the wicked way. Lord, lead me to the way everlasting. Lord, I humble myself before you. I ask for your forgiveness, your pardon. Restore to me the joy of thy salvation. Renew a right spirit, Lord, in me. Then shall I teach transgressors your ways. Others will learn because of my experience. But this, Lord, we give you praise and we give you thanks. In that wonderful, precious name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and King.